Breaking Up, a podcast about breakups, love, and pop culture. I'm your host, Isabella Shields, and in this episode, I'm joined by one of the most beautiful, gazelle-like people I've ever seen in my life, Thomas Dixon. Thomas works with me at 60 Nicholson Street Art Gallery in Glasgow and has also worked in media in Athens as an archivist at Spirit of Revolt Archives and has graduated from Cambridge University in History of Art. But today, we're here to talk about sex, romance, and heartbreak. Hello, Thomas.
Hi, gorgeous.
We've just used up all our jokes before the episode, basically, by like sitting and giggling.
Yeah, I'm kind of like bored now, like all the material's gone. We've answered all the questions already.
Yeah,
so
the energy's
sorry.
gone, so I guess that's the end of the episode. Thanks for coming. But Thomas, how would you describe your relationship to relationships?
My relationships are relationships. Well, if you've ever taken the attachment style quiz, I think you'd find that I would be an avoidant. I'd say I avoid relationships, whether that's parental, friends, romantic, just like
Pets.
Don't engage. Just really just kind of, yeah, they're pets, just kind of like, I've forgotten about it already. Like I've moved on. Yeah. Just run away, no responsibility, no feelings.
Quite right. Who cares, you know? The problem is me. I actually don't know what I got for that, but I remember when I first found out about that quiz, literally like diagnosing all my exes instead of actually taking it myself.
Yeah, they were the problem.
I was like total anxious avoidant, total like, I can't even remember the other categories because I decided that all my exes were anxious avoidant. Like every last one of them.
I mean, that's the only important one, really.
On.
I mean, the one that no one's ever met is the secure. Who is secure?
I know who's
these
secure.
days?
I know my friends Hannah and Ricky. They've been together for like 100 years, and they just seem very happy, and they just live together, and they just work, and it's just really nice. And I think my friend Nell was telling me, who you also know from the gallery, that they both had just like very secure parental relationships as well, who both like got together very young and just stayed together very young. And the problem I think is that secure people glom on to secure people and leave no room for the rest of us.
Yeah, and so it's just like the neurotics at one side and the kind of stable, lovely ones the other. Yeah,
there's no way
that
to
ain't
go.
fair. I mean, my thing with secure people, it's like when you meet a secure person, it's like, are you boring or are you secure? Like that's kind of like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, is it spicy? You know, is the spice like, you know, someone being a dick? Like,
well, another one of the most secure couples I've ever met have been together since they were really, really young. Also, just love shagging, and they didn't tell me that. I was always like, oh, they're really cute. They're like, you know, when you think of someone's like step brother and like his wife that are just like really nice to you in a film. Like I've not seen that film.
Wait, sorry.
Who's
step brother?
I'm imagining like a fake scenario where there's a film that I've seen, and in that film there's this like really nice stepbrother who like gives advice to like a teen boy.
I feel like this is like the start of a porno. Like I'm really.
Well,
I don't know how to feel right now.
The stepbrother has a really nice wife, and confide in them when you're an anxious teen in a film who doesn't know.
Yeah.
And like that's their vibe. But then I found out through another close friend of mine who knows them too that they're just shagging all the time. And like I think that's where all of their energy for like spice goes. And then in every other thing, they're just like normal and nice. And I love that. And
it's kind of like quite mild, simple on the outside, and then it's like a riot in the bedroom.
They're so chilled out all the time.
See, yeah. Imagine everyone had just had sex. It's just chill, isn't it? It's tranquility.
Yes. It's just nice. You can just get along. You're not looking for your next fix. Also, one of my favorite things about having you on as a guest is that you've done your homework. You've got loads of questions for me. I'm basically
I do indeed.
You're the host.
My relationship guru, I've come to you with many a question, and it was like almost a limerick. In my head, I was like, I'm going to turn this into some gorgeous limerick. So rush over that.
I saw it like rumbling up, and then I just saw it stop.
There was like a rhythm going, and I was getting into it. My relationship guru, I have for you. ... Someone else. I want someone else to finish it off, or like you could jump in there with another line.
I can't do lyrics. It's not my
I
strong
know it's
suit.
a bit. It's quite a lot of pressure. Got to just like spit some bars right now.
No, like, who do you think I am? We start with the first question. Are you
Yeah,
ready to go?
please. Yeah.
Yeah, please. I'm sick of this small talk.
We want the juice right now.
Yes.
So this has been sent in. Gonna keep them anonymous. But first question is: do people tell you who they are in the first 5 minutes of knowing them?
I wouldn't like to think so.
There's like a few bits there. So it's like, do people tell you who they are? Does that mean, are we consciously trying to tell other people who we are? And can you get a correct telling in the first 5 minutes?
Because I don't think people are trying to broadcast the real who they are immediately.
Yeah.
I think you can pick things up, that you can pick up that someone's like trying to make everybody comfortable. You can pick up that someone's trying to be difficult, or like if someone's being like, if someone, I don't know, like I've met people and I've immediately been like, I'd never want to see you again in my life. But like for various reasons. And then some of them I've seen again in my life and I've been like, this is fine.
Yeah.
And I haven't been like, I hate you as much as when I met you. But I've also met people who I thought were like great when I first met them, and then it turned out that they have like a litany of problems that they were just like,
just hiding.
Unspool. Also, you meet people sometimes and you don't talk, you know, like they're not, and I don't know if that's always like a bad thing, like if you know what I mean. I think the people that broadcast themselves really loudly are often the people with the most to hide, or that are trying to like compensate for something. I think you can just come into a room and try and be nice to people and try and be fun, and if you really like someone, I think it can go really sideways. I think like people can get really quiet when they're not like that quiet person. I think people can get like louder than they anticipated being because they've gotten nervous as well. Like me and Maddie went on a date that someone else, like it was a date for her, and the guy who was on the date is a lovely guy and I think he's great, and he was just honking his way through these drinks. Like he was just so unbelievably loud, and he was just making like all of these like gauche jokes, and then like at one point she laughed and he did an impression of her laughing, and I honestly felt like my brain was gonna dribble out of my ears. I was like, this is painful. I know that he's not like that, if you know what I mean.
And he was just kind of freaking out. He was
freaking out. He was like gone. He was
out of
watching
control.
himself.
Everyone's lost control of the situation.
Truly, I was like, I fell into like talk show host mode, and I was trying to like control the date because I was there as well, and just like bring it back down. And I was trying to like ask
passing
questions.
The mic back and forth.
Truly, I was like, what happened when this happened to you, Maddie? Oh, that's like this, isn't it? Like blah blah blah. And then I was like, it was awful. It was so bad.
I love that they had to bring in like the diplomatic team, like, you know, to come and like negotiate the evening, mediate everyone, so it get even worse. It was like their first date was just like straight into couples counselling.
Yeah, immediately, because she just like stopped talking. I was like, hey, that's some communication problems. Because I think as well, when some people get nervous, they just talk over people.
Yes.
And like there are just so many ways to meet someone that are like not representative of them.
My follow-up question to that is like, do we ever really meet people and who they are, or do we only meet people in situations? So like, you know, you're this kind of person in a group, you're this kind of person when you're alone, you're this kind of person with your family, you're this kind of person with your friends.
You have multiple personality disorder.
Yeah. You're this kind of person with your psychiatrist, like yeah, like where is there, I don't know, like maybe I'm kind of different in those situations. Everyone is different, right?
Yeah, I think you fall into like patterns of being with certain people. I think everybody does it,
Yeah.
and anyone who's like, no, I'm 100% myself all the time, you're like, you're intolerable. Like
you just don't have a clue what's going on. That's why.
You're like not suitable for a work environment. Like I would come into like an office job and start speaking to people the way I'm speaking to you now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't show up as like a wedding guest and just like this is how I'd be, or like I'd be the way I am at a wedding and like the way I am at work. Do you know what? Like it's not if you're like consistent.
I'm hearing you say this, but I'm also like, you're my boss.
But I think because I'm I'm the boss in that environment, I can do what I want. Which isn't true. It's only true to an extent. I like everybody I work with. I'm friends with everyone I work with, which sounds hilarious, and it sounds like exactly the thing someone will be like, no, she isn't. I fucking hate her. But I like everybody who works with me at the gallery as part of the gallery team. I think I'm pretty close with.
Yeah.
So I can get away with a lot. But I'm starting like this new job at the passport office, and I'm not going to be chatting away the way I am now. There,
that sounds quite somber. But do you know what? I think it'll be incredibly serious, but you're going to have a lot of funny stories from it.
I hope that it's going to be like the TV show The Office.
No, it definitely will be.
And I'm going to meet some real freaks.
Oh God, is it a proper office water cooler?
It's a cubicle job. It's data
cubicle.
Entry. Also, I had to sign the Official Secrets Act. I'll probably take this out of the podcast. But I had to sign the Official Secrets Act. And apparently, and I told so many people that, and then somebody was like, do you understand the part of the Official Secrets Act is that you're not supposed to talk about the Official Secrets Act? And I was like, look, it's not Fight Club.
I was going to say, I have seen the movie. And they made a movie about it. So, you know, now everyone knows.
I did actually watch that film, Official Secrets, to be like, maybe I'll take notes. But I'm
gonna have a big fight in the basement.
Have you ever met somebody and just been like, this is you immediately?
I mean, I think for me, when I meet people, I like to get deep. I like to kind of get to the nitty-gritty of things. It makes me feel like that builds trust between people. It makes me feel like, you know, you can share and kind of like sharing the problems that we face in the world. But, you know, more recently I've gone like, that isn't the kind of thing that like would define, or like I wouldn't want to be defined by that. And I don't think people are defined by that. I think that you can tell where someone's directing their energy in a moment. And in those 5 minutes, you know, that might be they're directing their energy in this way with their friends because out of habit, or, you know, and I think, you know, or maybe, you know, they meet you and you're amazing and they're giving all of their energy to you in those 5 minutes. And, you know, and that's kind of more how you respond to.
Yeah, I think you're totally right about like
going on
doing like putting energy in certain places.
Yeah.
And I think, I do not mean to disrespect the person that asked this, but I think the reason that people can't do that and they can't meet you as they are in the first 5 minutes is because they have a life outside of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there are so many factors,
there
are so many variables. There's like whatever you've had happen to you in your life has like a parallel of that, like a parallel universe version of that's happened to this person in like myriad ways. And like you don't know what they're contending with. You don't know what's happened to them that day, whether it's good or bad. And like, I don't know. I think people can be honest. I like to think most people are honest when they meet you. If you know what I mean. Like I like to think that people aren't trying to immediately be duplicitous. But I think, like,
everyone's hiding who they are in the first 5 minutes.
Like I hope not, because what would be the point? Because like it all comes out eventually, baby. But
that's true.
I think I think you don't know people in the first 5 minutes. Like, you probably don't know people properly until you've met them like at least twice.
Yeah, I think you can tell where someone's going in the first 5 minutes of meeting them. They're either here or they're somewhere else, you know. And that's what we have in life.
Yeah, I think it's also hard to meet someone who wants to be in the moment and is trying quite hard to be in the moment, but like it's not their vibe. It's not their like it's not their space to be in, and they're trying very hard.
Yeah.
And like I think it is really off-putting when someone's trying like very, very hard, I think. Like I think there's like a really nice balance to be struck between like trying to make other people comfortable and then like trying.
Yeah.
And I think you don't want to be there, but that's always also a sign that someone's just really anxious, I think. Or like determined to be away because they don't want to be a certain other way. And I think we can give them a bit of space, but also if you're one of the people that does that, just take a breath. People will like you more if you just chill out a bit. Like you don't need to prove it all in the first 5 minutes. You don't need to be like, this is like one shot. I think that with dates as well. Like I think people always talk about how much first impressions count. I think that's true in terms of attraction. You can be like, oh, they're like attractive to me, and the way they're behaving is like attractive. Yeah. But you don't need to have like won their love immediately. You don't need to win anyone's love immediately. That's crazy.
Yeah, like, I think there's definitely not one love story, and I think people, you know, can get off on the wrong foot in so many different ways, and it's always about like whether two people make time and effort for each other as opposed to have an instant spark and you know, get carried away.
Because like I've got friends who I like wasn't that close friends with the first like year of knowing them, and now like they're one of my like closest friends, Katie. Like we were like she came actually to work at the gallery, and then we were like peripheral friends for a while because she knew my friend Debbie so well, who's going to be on the podcast soon. And so is Katie actually, but yeah, and then suddenly like this year really, and into like maybe halfway through 2018, into 2019, into 2020, become super, super close. But it wasn't, and I really I liked Katie when I met Katie. Like there wasn't a point where I was
Did you know her within the first 5 minutes of meeting her?
No, absolutely not. I was like, thanks for coming to invigilate the gallery.
Right, thanks, bye. Can you hold my coffee? Can you pick up my car, my dry cleaning?
No, but it was really nice. Like I think it was all really nice. I don't know. It's just so funny. Like it's so funny. And I think I definitely had it in mind. Like I think like my parents were always like, you gotta have nice teeth, you gotta have nice shoes and all that kind of stuff. You want to make a good impression. Yeah. How many people's fucking shoes have I looked at in the first 5 minutes of knowing them, honestly?
Well, I don't know. How many people's shoes have you looked at?
6. No. I don't know. I'm just like not really looking at people's shoes all the time. Like I'm not, like my teeth are kind of squinty. I don't have perfect teeth. I keep them white, hopefully. But
they're radiant from here.
There's so many things that fuck that stuff up for people. Like you don't need to worry about that in 2021.
Yeah, and like within the first 5 minutes, you bring every single prejudice and like preconception with you to that first interaction. It's like they can be themselves as they want, but like you are just gonna throw every kind of like, you know, immediate judgment onto the person. I made my mind up within 30 seconds.
Totally. But you look like somebody that I didn't like in 2007. Like it's not. And like that is not real life. Like none of it is real life.
Yeah, exactly. So
I would really take it easy on the first 5 minutes of meeting someone. If someone's like horrible to you, if someone's like a misogynist and a racist and like is broadcasting that immediately and is like a transphobe and a homophobe, then like you can guess. You know? I'm not sticking up for those people. That's not what I'm saying.
You're like, you just need to get to know them.
But you will know those people. If you broadcast that kind of thing, then you can take them at face value. I think there's a difference between knowing someone in the first 5 minutes and taking somebody at face value. You know?
Is that our kind of like summarizing?
Maybe.
Our one line.
That's our soundbite for that question.
That's the intro. Would you like another question,
I would love
Miss Relationship Guru?
I'm loving this. This is how I want to be addressed.
Worship. Me, the intern again. Like,
I hope everyone.
Give me some questions now. Do you know
knows.
who I was thinking about? Have you ever seen W1A?
Yes.
Yeah, you know Will, the intern in that. He's like, yeah, cool, yeah, fine, yeah. That's very me. Kind of incompetent and like, but kind of just like riding the wave as well, and like they're getting away with it. I don't really, yeah. I was like, yeah. Anyway, so as next question number 2. This comes in from another Instagram question. As a horny key worker, hi, me too. How do I navigate being single during Rona? ?
So this question, I think, is slightly confusing because I don't really know what they mean by navigate it. Do they mean what, like, how am I gonna be single and just be with myself and like live with myself?
Mm-hmm.
Or do they mean how am I gonna date? Do you think?
I think what they mean is how do you approach the problems of being single during Rona. So what are the problems that single life brings during a pandemic? You know, there's loneliness, there's lack of intimacy. Do you kind of bubble up with someone and like really try and make something work? Do you find love online?
I would say find love online just out of boredom. Like, you don't even need to find love online. You can just go on one of these forums on Reddit and ask a weird question and wait for the answers to pour in. I definitely like very bored and like lonely and like I remember just like going on Reddit and just typing into one of these like weird forums being like, what's the weirdest thing you've ever fantasized about? And then I just sent it and I got over like 400 responses.
Seriously?
It was crazy. And everybody was like, some of the stuff was so creepy, some of the stuff was like, my daughter's friend's got a real nice pair of boobs and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, reported. And then other people were just like, I just keep thinking about somebody like lying down with like their leg. Like, I really remember it, lying on a bed, but with like a pillow between their legs, and they're just in like a pajama top and nothing else. And I was like, that's so specific. And they just want to come and like touch them. And like,
wow.
And I was like, that is so manageable. You could do that.
So, a pillow and a shirt, yeah.
A pillow, a shirt, a person. Like, I'm sure you could make it work.
Just ask nicely.
But then, like, if you want to talk to people, you can obviously talk to people, and they'll get into it because people just love to talk. I think like one of the hardest things about being alone, I said this like on the last podcast as well, that I did is just feeling like a ghost. Like feeling like the things you do don't matter because nobody can see them.
Yeah.
The things you like when you cook food, you're like, that was great for me, and nobody else saw that too, and like nobody else tasted it. Nobody knows like this, and like nobody's like doing this stuff with me. I'm just like floating around in it, like, and I clean up every night. And the flat's the exact same way the next morning. And you're like,
the washing up never stops.
And you're like, I'm just in an infinite loop. And that's what feels really hard. So I think if you can do things that'll just like jar you out of that monotony and make you feel like people are listening to you, then like that's what you do. I feel like there's loads of like, I think, and they are springing up more, like just people who want to talk to other people. And like, if I get also with being a key worker though, that you're on funny hours. Like, that would be something that would really bum me out. Like, because when I worked, I did a job for the Commonwealth Games, and it started at 4:00 in the morning, and finished at 4:30.
What was that?
It was literally like
helping
a supervisor at age 19 who let me do that. I was a supervisor. I had to tell Tom Daly that we were out of raisins.
You told Tom Daly you were out of raisins. You don't know how exciting that is. Like, I'm now like one handshake away from Tom Daly. Like, that is really, really big news to me personally. If you want to talk about fantasies, like, there we go. But
is he diving into your like welcome arms?
into my pussy?
Infinite.
Does a double backflip
straight
and lands. Yeah. Feet first. Making a splash.
Yeah,
I seem to have derailed your lovely Commonwealth Games wholesome story. Go on, tell me what happened at the Commonwealth Games.
No, but I just remember feeling so out of the loop because I'd get home at like 5:30. I'd like eat dinner and then I'd just fall asleep. And I'd be asleep from like 7 o'clock at night until 4 o'clock in the morning because I was so tired. And then like people would come over and I would just fall asleep. Like it's so bad.
Whoa.
Like I'd be like, I'll come over and I'll stay up until like maybe 10 o'clock and I'll try and get 6 hours. But I was just so tired from like my sleep schedule being fucked up. I would just be like out for the count, and then like you're just working all day and like no one's around when you're around.
Yeah.
Like no one was up to text me at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, of course.
And like, yeah, I totally get just feeling like out of the loop. But if there's something you could do maybe with other key workers, if you work with a bunch of them, if there's something you could like organize socially, but I guess we're talking more romantically.
Yeah, I guess it's like being single. Yeah, I definitely say, with the loneliness, like tapping into your place of work and trying to get if you put a lot of energy into there, I think you'll get a lot of energy back, and hopefully the kind of being single, being lonely won't perhaps weigh on you as much.
Yeah, and you might meet someone at work.
Yeah.
If you're up for it. I think we've had guests in the past be very hardline about not doing that.
Not doing that's interesting. Why?
Because
just like blurring the lines.
Yeah, it's crossing a boundary and then you're just like stuck in that situation.
Well, I guess when you're co-workers, it's kind of it can be funny. I guess when it's your boss, there's a different kind of dynamic there.
Yeah, because that's what happened with us and look where we are now.
Yeah, that didn't go well for us.
No, that's why I'm here today. Relationship therapy.
To warn everyone.
Yeah, don't do it. But I think, like, because I'm just telling stories about people today, but like there's another girl I knew who had a huge crush on a guy that she'd known through school, through uni, and then they both end up working in the same firm. And he'd always had a girlfriend, but he's always like confiding her the whole time about like how much he like basically loved her as a friend and how much she meant to him all the time, but she was like in love with him, like totally head over heels in love with him. I was kind of like waiting for him to break up with his girlfriend almost so that she could be the one he was with. But then like he broke up with the girlfriend because like he'd always just considered her like his best friend, like that was what it was. And she realized that like quite soon after he broke up with the girlfriend, and like nothing came of their relationship. And then that was so painful for her that she actually like changed firm, like she got a different job.
Wow.
So if it's like a long haul crush like that, I think avoid.
Yeah, I guess with that there's kind of a lot about like the unsaid, and that there was never the kind of agreement or the kind of the admission of the love.
Yeah, and the reciprocity like wasn't there. It's one of those things. It's like it feels very like teenage, because I guess it started in like teenage years, just like really crushing on someone and like taking everything to like mean this. Like that is the case, I guess we should just take somebody at face value, and when they're like, I love talking to you, I think you're a great friend, you're my best friend, you just have to be like, cool, that's where we are.
That's what they mean.
They're not saying like, oh, in another world we'd be together, because if they did that, they'd just say that.
I'm just gonna fill in the end of your sentence in my head and not tell you about it.
Great.
I definitely do that as well, don't worry. I've fantasizing.
But I think, I guess, also genuinely, I know this sucks because like everybody's always like, oh, get some exercise, but if you are lacking like physical intimacy, it's the same endorphins, unfortunately. Like it's similar endorphins anyway if you just go and get some exercise.
So it's the same as fucking. Just go on a jog, guys. Just
jog, mate. Just grow up. No, but like you do get that, and you get it from but if the problem is that you cannot see anyone at all, like you don't have flatmates, you just are like the sole carer for an old lady, and you can't like interact with anyone, then I think also if you do online dating, you have to be quite upfront with somebody and just be like, I'm a key worker. If I started online dating and I was like looking to bubble this year, I was looking to have a little pod after some nice walks, then I'd want to know that might not really be an option, if you know what I mean. But I think also, like you can just use online dating for company. No offense.
Yeah, definitely. Just you know, use people for their chat and then ghost them. Like that's what apps are for. I believe that's what people use them for, isn't it?
That's what Thomas is
Ah!
all dating apps.
No, I've never done that. No, I would never.
But you could just, I think you can, like, if someone doesn't mind just like talking over text a lot, like I'm not that person, and I wasn't that person before the pandemic. I was like, just phone me, like I don't, or like let's go for a drink. I don't want to spend like a week of my life just sending you texts. Let's just meet. Which seems really like intense, but like, I don't know. Like,
but yeah, I mean, I think you are allowed to go for a walk. So, you know, go for a walk, hand sanitize, and, you know, maybe throw a little can of G&T their way.
Yeah, I think that's nice. I think it's fun. I think it's a little like semi-Victorian date to go and like walk a little bit away from somebody and just learn about hang out.
It is very Victorian. No, you're right. Like the kind of, it has to be during daylight. You know, it has to be kind of in a park. Yeah, no, you're right. That's very funny.
Yeah, I think also we were talking in the last episode that hasn't come out yet when we were talking, me and Regina. Because she, like, that episode's all about being like pre-love and pre-relationship, and we talk about like friends doing matchmaking for you. And I think if you know a key worker who's single and you know somebody else who's single and they're both lonely as fuck because it's a fucking pandemic, then as a friendship group you can be like, oh, let's all go for a walk, and then you bail. Like once you're there, like you have to go. You're like, oh fuck, I'm so sorry,
you take a call,
and then you just leave and you leave them to it. And that's like cute.
That's really brave.
That's just something for.
And do either of them know that's what's going to happen?
Well, one could, but
if
you just want to do some sneaky matchmaking, that might be the way.
That's really exciting. I hope my next walk invitation that happens. hint, everyone. Just leave me with some large hunky boy.
Exactly, and just disappear.
Yeah, bye.
But yeah, I think there's a lot you can do. Like, I think it sucks. Like, I would hate to be a key worker. Never mind be a key worker who is single and doesn't like have the resources at the moment to like be able to date properly. I think it's like an unprecedented. It's actually like the first time in history where people just haven't been dating, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or if they have, it's been like really clandestine because they have to be like, which is kind of hot in itself. But things do happen.
Find someone with a pandemic kink.
Yeah. Find someone who's got like a full gas mask. Hazmat suit, genitals out, and that's it.
This is the time to experiment with gimp suits, people.
I'll probably put this up when I release this episode, but I did like an Instagram filter of myself in like a gimp suit the other day, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm like due a lifestyle change.
Hey, did I see this? Where was it?
Because I just sent it to her. Okay. So I was like,
oh right, okay.
I started doing his jokes. I was like, this would be so funny, and then I was like, I look fucking great.
And I feel amazing.
Amazing, and it's gonna happen. But I think, yeah.
Let me know how that goes.
I will. It seems expensive at the moment.
Like, no, yeah, definitely.
I don't know any. Like, if I do know somebody who's got like all the gear, give me a quote. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can afford it. But I'm also not that interested in that. It seems sweaty.
Yeah, I know.
Like, talc up. The talc
before getting in.
Yeah, I don't want like, a full papier-mâché like under my like lace and like my sweat, you know. It doesn't seem like it's
papier-mâché. Wow, I haven't heard that one before.
But it's just, I don't know. So you can also just experiment with onanism. You can just touch yourself up all you want.
That was going to be my last piece of advice. Is for me, when I've been by myself, I'm trying to tell myself, I'm like, Thomas, rise to the challenge and treat yourself as if you were the love of your life.
Yeah.
You know, make yourself that amazing meal. Take yourself to that really cool place. You know, like give yourself the best hand job of your life.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just edging.
Try and like make the effort. Just hold yourself in constant.
No, I think that's right. I think that's how people should be treating themselves. basically all the time through the pandemic anyway. But I think when you're single, like, do that. And if you do have the feeling that I sometimes get when I'm by myself of being a ghost, like, just put literally, like, the food on your Instagram story. Like, people are gonna hate it. People are like that, but I like it. I like seeing what people eat.
Yeah, just put up an Instagram story with the question box and be like, reply now. So I know that I'm still alive. Like, literally, be dramatic as well. Like, I feel like it's really a time to be dramatic. Marina Abramovich says, we all need to be more dramatic.
I agree. And also, like, I keep wanting to put things up with the questions box, and then I'm like, no. Even though, like, when people answer, I fucking love it. Like, I go off on it when I get, like, tons of notifications from people. Like, I did one ages ago at Halloween that was like Shag, Marry, Kill, Frankenstein, Dracula, somebody else, the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
So many people wrote in and they were all wrong. Everybody was like, marry Frankenstein.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, he's made of dead people, you freak. He's gonna say, like,
he's tall. He's definitely over 6 foot. So.
But I think, yeah, with social media stuff, like, everyone's as bored as you are, and you should exploit that.
Yeah, also maybe get into, like, World of Warcraft or League of Legends, Dungeons and Dragons, like, play it online. There's lots of people, little avatars for you to, like, harass online and, like, send, loads of emojis to, just, like, be like, be my friend.
I got Club Penguin kind of as a joke
recently,
like at the start of the pandemic, so I was I need to have a go at this, and I hated it. I hate it, really? I really, really enjoyed it, and then I realized at one point I was watching 2 other penguins have a row in the square. I was just like, watching when they were like, "Why didn't you show up at, like, the fish pond or something like that?" Like, fuck you! And I just stood there, like, as another penguin. I just watched. It was like the most crazy thing.
That is entertainment.
And they were just, like, swearing at each other, and then they went to, like, a different room. And then they were like, they typed, like, "come back" into a little speech bubble, and they went somewhere else, and I followed them. And I was like, no, log off. So if you
need to do, like, an ethnography of that, honestly. Coming of age in Club Penguin. I want to see that one too.
But I think genuinely, like, if you're into online games, if you've never tried online games, have a go at that because it's fun.
Yeah, definitely give online games a go. I played World of Warcraft quite a lot at the start with my friend, and that kept us quite entertained. I think it depends what you like. It's really long. It's a lot of repetition. It's like doing the same quest. It's like, go and kill these 5 things, go and kill these 5 things, go and kill these 5 things. And you're kind of like, after a few hours, like, I've done a lot of killing. Now I just want to do a bit of loving. Yeah, make love, not war, as they used to say. I don't think so. I think you get to there's a kind of a lot of aesthetic elements of, like, how you design your character and how you dress them, how that may attract fellow teammates, but in terms of making love, I think it's a children's game, Isabella. So maybe that would be inappropriate.
Learn,
Yeah.
You have to get their sex ed somewhere. With the trolls and ghouls of World of Warcraft than on these porn sites, Thomas.
Yeah, no, you have a point there.
I think they should be in control of their own destiny. They should decide whether they get to fuck an orc or whatever it is. World of Warcraft stands don't start sending me messages about how I don't understand World of Warcraft, because I don't, and I'm not interested in understanding it.
I'm just making faces at each other.
Yeah, we are. So, what's, like, the summary of the advice? Do online dating. Do weird stuff online anonymously.
Yes.
Because you can. Like, no one cares. Like, everyone's like, oh, don't let the government see you. Like, they don't give a shit, mate. They've got bigger stuff going on. Go for walks in the park. See if you can get your friends to matchmake for you, because that's really fun and nice. Get yourself, like, you are your own date.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really nice advice.
Yeah, and maybe online games.
Yeah. That's really, I think we've got it. Also, just exploit social media apps. Just exploit Instagram. Use it the way it's supposed to be used.
Yeah, for attention.
Yeah, just use it for attention. People don't mind. People know that that's what everybody wants.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing.
Yes, that's just my life now, tragically. But
yeah, post nudes.
What? Get OnlyFans.
Yeah, start another career on the
Yeah,
side.
a beautiful bathwater, like sell your bathwater. Like that girl, do you remember that? Like, have you heard the OnlyFans
No,
gamer girl who's like
bathwater.
19 and she like sold her bathwater and you can get it with like piss in it and all that kind of thing. I might have to do a
Lovely.
content
How
warning at the
much?
beginning of this episode. Like, this is the most disgusting episode we've ever done. This is the most like graphic episode we've ever done. You can get it for, I don't know, I think it's sold out. I think she like stopped having baths. But you could get it with like different mixes of her bodily fluid.
There's now a drought in Los Angeles.
She's on like Olympic swimming pool that's just like
The factory. Andy Warhol's just like scooping buckets of like someone's piss water.
because the thing is it was like milk baths, so that it was like kind of clear.
Oh wow! So actual milk. It's just milk.
It's an awful lot. I feel like it's weird, but it gained a 3 million.
Uncouth.
It's uncouth. It's unseemly.
3 million what?
$3 million.
Bucks.
3
Dollars.
million buckaroos.
For a cup? For a
No,
bath
like,
load?
I think it was like $25 a vial.
Oh.
And then yeah, people bought loads.
Wow, I might do the maths really quickly on that. Like, how many vials is in 3 million?
Maybe we should fact check this. Hang on. Belle Delphine, she's selling her bathwater. It cost $50.
Oh, 50,
It's
okay.
out of stock now.
Wow.
But hang on, let's find out how much she's got quickly. Because she posted how much it was, and she was like, I think it's like 3 million now.
I don't know. I don't know, I'm just like a
yeah,
millionaire now.
She sold a jar of her piss for 10 grand.
Wow, that's really good deal.
Yeah. That's if anyone wants to buy some of my pee for 10 grand, then tell me.
Her overheads for that are like nothing. It's like tap water and a jug.
A bladder, yeah.
And the margin on that is like, what's the percent? Like 10,000%. 100,000%. Wow, that's a margin if ever I heard of one.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, the bottles of bathwater sold out immediately. More than 500,000.
Wow.
Clicked it. She's gonna be 500,000. Like, if only half of the people actually got 500,000
Yeah.
of it. That's buck. That's big buck.
Yeah, so guys, there's bucks we made.
Key workers get pissing. Get baby.
Yeah.
But I actually might do a content warning at the beginning of the episode. It's going to be like, this is a dirty episode. If you have a fragile constitution, if you're under the age of 18, if you want to hear words like pussy and hear people talk about piss, then sign off.
I know. I feel like I'm just pretending that I'm on like food for thought or something. Yeah. Organic.
What's your third question?
Yeah, the third and final question. This is a good one. This comes in again from Instagram.
Great.
It begins. As the Spice Girls once said, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. End quote. But what if your lover becomes too close with your friends, ... Are we allowed to ask them to back off? ? Dilemma.
I think this is such a funny question. I'm so into it. I'm so into this like possessive energy, like shamelessly possessive energy. And also I kind of get it because I think there's like a worry that if your friends get on, like my friends got on really well with Harlan, and like I've always been like I would want people to keep talking to Harlan. I think they would, but like obviously, but I also know that they would be on my side, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think the worry is like, and they would support me. The worry is that if they get too close to your other partner, that
they start agreeing with the other one.
And they'll like, if you broke up, they'll be like, ooh, I'm gonna actually side with knew like your partner, not you.
Yeah.
And like we'll be friends now.
So do you think that's where the root of the fear is coming from?
I think so, unless it's just general insecurity that you're not as much fun as your partner.
Ooh. So, I mean, the kind of question was like, are you allowed to say back off? But you're kind of saying that any kind of possessiveness over the friend and the boyfriend is actually coming from a kind of deep insecurity, which maybe you need to address.
Yes, because I don't think you can tell people to back off of people when it's platonic. Like, I think that's crazy. If somebody like, who would you tell to back off in that situation? The friends or your partner?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Because I would feel weird doing either.
I think there's probably more precedent to tell one's partner how to behave than one's friends. But I don't ask me.
I think if you, I don't know, I would think it was really weird if Harlan was like, you're getting too friendly with my friends and it has to stop. I'd be like, no, that's insane. That's making me feel really strange. If Harlan was like, it's making me panicky for like these reasons and I want to like have some things for myself, which I do understand. I understand being like, I don't want everything to become like all of us all the time. Like I want to be able to have time with my friends when like you're not there. And I want to have like an independent relationship with my friends, which I think is very uncomfortable. And I'm into
I definitely agree. That to bring Esther Perel, up, we love her, and she says that behind every criticism is a wish. So if you were to say, you are becoming too close with my friends, what you may be saying is, I wish to spend more time with my friends, or I wish to spend more time with you.
I feel left out. Subtext, I think. Or I feel left out, or I feel like I'm less lovable than either party. Like I've got a great friend and I've got a great partner, and I feel like I'm left behind. I'd be interested to know if the person who asked this was the youngest child.
Oh, they might be.
They might be. I think it's like, because I know that my little sister's always been like somebody who's been very into having like everyone together all the time, like very much like a pack animal. But also if she feels like left out, she handles it so badly because of how much me and my older brother like left her out as children. And I think, not to psychoanalyze this question too much, because I don't even know who's asking it, but I think there's a lot that comes back up from like childhood paradigms, I think. And I think the youngest child often is the one that gets like the brunt of things, because the older two have already like made their little minds up, they're gonna buddy up. I don't know, I think you can see and feel a little bit of like the mentality that you don't want to get left behind, that you don't want to get left out in this question, which I think is really understandable. Like nobody likes being left out. Nobody likes feeling like they're being abandoned or like dinged or like someone's better than them. And I think that's the worry. And I think you can talk to your partner and just be like, I feel a bit insecure about it. I feel like I'm like, you're more fun. My friends think you're more fun than they think I am. And like, if you really like your partner actually really likes you, they'll be like, oh, that's quite cute. Sorry, you loser. In like a nice way, without it having to be like a thing. But if I if I really got on with one of my friends' partners and then they rocked up and were like, you need to back off.
That would be quite...
like, fuck you. Like, that would make me really angry.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it would make me really annoyed.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, so I'm not allowed to have friends now because you're insecure.
Yeah.
Would be like the subtext of like a big kickoff for me. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I think
that's too harsh.
I really like how you've approached this, because I think, definitely the kind of the telling of what to do is not going to end well for anyone in any direction.
No.
So that's kind of already like, we've struck that off. Big no.
Yes.
There's the kind of, let's delve into where this is coming from. Love psychoanalysis. Really great. Yeah. So like, where have you felt this before? Did this come up in your family a lot? And then that becomes the point of the departure. And so it's just like, I've had this feeling before. you know, the way that you're behaving is making me feel this way, and is there a way that we can, you know, keep doing this that makes us all happy?
Yeah.
I definitely really believe in like trying in like problem solving, try and bring everyone with you.
Yes, completely. Yeah. We're all trying, because like you're all friends and going out with each other, or like
you're all going out with each other.
That's, I guess, your biggest fear.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, maybe that's the fear. Everyone's bonking.
I actually had one question that because I came prepared today too. And I had one question that was like like the biggest like point of departure from this is maybe like the fear version of this.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should ask it because I don't want to scare this person. Do you want to find out what it is?
Do I know them?
No.
Oh, okay. Well then go for it.
So the final question. It's like the nightmare hellscape version of this one. It didn't even come as a question.
Is it literally just like a long anecdote?
No, it didn't come as a question. It's just a confession. Like there's no question.
Whoa! Like, wait, this is so fun. I love confession time. This is like a special section in and of itself. I want the jingle now. It's confession time. It's confession time. What have you done which is sinful?
Today's sin is I want to have a threesome with my partner and her best friend, but I feel like bringing that up will end my relationship.
Should we just jump to the chase? Yeah, it will.
Yeah, it fucking will. Like,
oh no.
There's like will end your relationship.
Oh, no.
Like unless you're the most like chill people alive, and then like, that's on the table. But if you already feel like it's gonna end your relationship, it's gonna end your relationship, mate. Like, I don't want to think about my partner trying to fuck my friends. I don't want to think about my friends trying to fuck my partner. Like, if I was gonna have a threesome, it would have to be pretty anonymous. I would not be looking for a long-lasting. So, like, you also don't know if that friend wants to fuck you. So what you could do is put this on the table, find out someone doesn't want to fuck you, end your relationship,
and then lose the most special thing in your life.
And like drive a wedge between two friends. That's like the nightmare hellscape version.
Wow.
I think if you're a certain kind of person, if you're in like a very open relationship, like the problem is as well that if I was with someone, they were like, oh, let's be in an open relationship, let's open it up. And then I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then like one of the first things they did out the gate would be like, I want to fuck you and your friend at the same time. I'd be like, okay, cool, you don't want to be in an open relationship with me, you just want to fuck my friends. Yeah. And that's like a bad vibe.
Yeah, but I guess this is interesting in terms of the last question, because it's like you do go into the relationship with your life and my friends and your friends, and where are those lines? So it's like we're all gonna get along, but you're not gonna have sex with them because that's going to because that's gonna end the trust, that's gonna end the feeling that it's special. And
also, like, I don't want to be compared to my friends in any way. I don't want there to be like, I don't want there to be a literal point of comparison between what it would be like someone to have sex with me and for someone to have sex with my best friends. Like, I don't want that in my life. That would make me feel uncomfortable. That would make me feel stressed. And I think that is fair enough. And I think if some, like, I don't know. I also just don't like the thought of my partner like ogling my friends all the time. I need there to be like a limit of engagement there. And I don't think that's uncalled for. And I get to be like, be free, everybody has sexual thoughts. But like, don't tell me about it. Like, don't make me
I definitely think this is like the realms of private fantasy and perhaps some nights of pornography where you do indulge, you know, because it is a fun idea. Like at the end of the day, it's like, oh, how taboo, how erotic, you know, you're kind of crossing over that boundaries and it's all very exciting. But that's like the penis or the genitals thinking. As opposed to the mind and the emotions,
and
you know,
that, like guides your well-being. Which is like, don't do that, you idiot. Nothing that will like protect you in your life wants you to do that.
And
I think I totally get, like, have a little wank over it, like try not to let it get out of hand, and if you need a bit of distance from that friend, then take a bit of distance, but like also if you want to have sex with that friend more than you want to have sex with your partner, because like you gave me no information, this question asker, you just confessed to me that you want to fuck someone. And I think if you actually do just need to work on like whether you would rather just be with the friend than with your current partner, do that. Even if it's scary, even if it means you end up with neither, because it'll kind of be the case that you don't want to be in that relationship. And then just work out if you're just bored because it's the pandemic.
Yeah, that's probably another thing. Too much time together.
Yeah. If that's like the only other person you're seeing, basically.
Yeah. And also like there are 7 billion people on this planet. You know, there will be someone else that you would like to have sex with who isn't your partner's best friend.
Yeah.
So, you know, it might seem like that's the only option at the moment. I promise you there will be other fish in the sea. Yeah.
What? So I guess that's it. I think we've answered things quite thoroughly.
Yeah, with minute detail and introspection. And
anecdotal evidence and fantasy evidence. Tom Daly and the Raisins.
Oh, I miss him already.
I miss the feeling of him. He was very nice. I offered him cranberries and he said it was okay. But yeah, you have your film and TV and song and album, any of them. Ready?
Some recommendations. So mine's TV, Yummy Mummies on Netflix, essential viewing. It's like Real Housewives but set in Australia, and they're all pregnant. They're all 8 months pregnant, and it's fantastic. I really cannot tell if they are acting, if they are like a slightly unhinged, or if that's just what they're like down under. There's a lot to unpack, so I'd say please watch and enjoy.
Wow. And will that just get people's minds off it, really?
Yeah, it's great distraction. Yeah.
I've never even heard of it, and it sounds traumatic. It's so scary.
Wild. It's really wild.
Like my flatmate Olivia has watched 3 seasons. Like 3. When I say seasons, I don't mean like the one series. I mean like she's watched Atlanta, New York, and Beverly Real Housewives now over the pandemic. And sometimes she's like, haha, like let's watch this clip, and I just think it all seems so scary.
It is kind of scary because there's lots of like really unhappy people fighting.
Yes, and it makes me really stressed to watch it. She's always like, oh my god, watch this clip, and I'm like, oh, it's the kind of thing that I would just like walk away from on a night out. Like I would just not engage, and then like in my living room, and I don't know what to do.
You're so sensible because I'm the one who's standing there gawking and going, no,
maybe that's
really?
That in Club Penguin, maybe that's why that was.
Oh yeah, you were enacting out your fears on Club Penguin. That's really interesting.
Absolutely tragic. Thomas, where can people find you online if you want them to find you?
Oh, please don't. Let's just keep this conversation between us. That's what I'll say. There's nothing to find. There's nothing to see there.
There's nothing to see. Just me and a beautiful boy having a Zoom call. And you'll never find him.
You'll find me in Queen's Park at night. That's where you'll find me.
But not after the midnight curfew.
Not anymore, yeah.
No. But thank you so much for coming on. It's been such a treat. You can find.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not at all. Not at all.
I've learned so much today.
I honestly love those questions. If your friends have more questions to send to the podcast, they should.
Yeah, please do, people.
I can make fun of them, and I can be nice.
Yes, just roast them.
Yeah. But you can find us on Instagram at Breaking Up Podcast, and you can email us at breakinguppodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to come onto the podcast because you think you're really funny in the way that we think we're really funny, or in a totally different way, please tell me, and I'll listen to you, and I'll talk to you. And it'll be great. So just let me know if you want to sponsor us, let us know too, because at the moment I do this for free, and so does everybody else. But Thanks again, Thomas. Thanks to the listeners. Goodbye, listeners. Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.